Hey guys, here in a nutshell with me, Ina. Bear with me. I know I sound a little different. Medyo may sakit ako, no? Kung kailan pa, nandito ako sa bandang Alberta, supposed to be on a vacation, but I am here sick. Oh my gosh, ano. But anyway, okay lang, life goes on. Ang pag-uusapan natin today ay, I guess, para sa mga TFWs natin, mga foreign workers na naghahanap ng lamia, medyo a little, ano ba, slightly bad news because, nako, lalo pa sigurong hihigpit, okay, ang processing ng pag-re-request ng mga employers for lamia. So what could this mean for foreign workers? Yan ang ating pag-uusapan kasama si Miss G. Geraldine Villarreal na nasa Edmonton. Sayang guys, hindi kami makapagkita dahil wala kaming schedule magpunta ng Edmonton. Hi Miss G.
Hi, Miss Ina. Oo, sayang, sana next time, pagbisita, ito namang Edmonton ang bisitahin mo.
Oo nga, for sure I will, no? Okay? O guys, ito title natin, and Miss G's email will be crawling down there at the bottom throughout our episode. Also guys, pagpasensyahan nyo na yung kulay ko pala, no? Nandito ako sa basement ng aming tinutuluyan dito at puro dilaw yung ilaw. I don't know, it's affecting my color also. Mukha akong nangangamatis, no? Sobrang pula nung aking mukha. Walang white light dito. Anyway, okay Miss G, yung changes for the processing of lamiyas. Okay, by the way guys, FYI, Miss G has processed numerous lamiyas for employers. So marami siyang alam, experience patungkol dito. These changes will take effect April 1st. So in effect na pala siya technically. Ano bang end result na nakikita mo dito, Miss G? What's gonna happen now? What does this mean for foreign workers?
So of course, longer processing time. I know, and bago pala yan, Miss Ina, if you see the instructions, in-announce to ng April 2. No? Pero yung rules, nag-take effect siya ng April 1. So nakakaloka yung instructions na yan. Because that time we had several LMI applications na ready na sana for submission nung April 2. So yun yung mismong araw na in-announce yung rules. So dahil biglaan ang changes, then we had to instruct the employer na, hey, hindi natin pwedeng isabit ang application ng April 2 kasi nga nag-take effect ang rule ng April 1. So yeah, they have to, we have to instruct them na kailangan mag-wait pa ng another 30 days or 1 month para ma-submit yung LMI application. So walang kahit anong pasabi or transition.
Medyo unfair nga naman, ano?
Yes, oo. Malaking sakit ng ulo yan, especially dun sa mga employer na meron sila mga foreign workers na may expire na yung kanilang work permit and they are basing on the LMIA application para ma-extend yung kanilang work permit. So it would be ideal sana na may pasabi, na may transition period na at least, hey, from May 1st, 2026, so ganito na yung bagong rule. So unfortunately, hindi ganun ang nangyari.
Okay. So, let's talk about the changes na in effect na ngayon, guys. Basically nga, mas mahigpit na ngayon. There are additional requirements for employers bago sila mabigyan ng lamia na yan. May tatlo, no, Miss G? I will put up screen grabs pala of the first one. Yan, hinighlight ko, guys. Tatanggalin ko na ito. Okay, the first one. Sorry, guys. I'm reading from my cellphone. Wala akong laptop dito, no? Okay, kailangan employers submitting a lamia application for low-wage positions must advertise the job offer for a minimum of 8 weeks, 8 consecutive weeks in the 3 months before submitting the application. And dapat daw, ito yung pangalawa, no? Dapat mag-target sila ng youth sa kanilang recruitment efforts. Ideally, Ms. G, itong youth targeting, kumbaga pa specify nila this time, I guess, before kasi yung general concept is, mag-effort ka muna maghanap ng local applicants. Diba? Siyempre, we all assume kasama na dun yung youth. But, okay, Ano ba yung dati, Miss G? Ilang weeks lang ba dati? Ngayon 8 weeks na daw.
Dati kasi 4 weeks lang eh, no? 4 weeks
Oh.
within the 3 weeks na in-advertise mo yung position, then only you can submit the LMI application. At saka dati kasi, sabi ng immigration, targetin nyo yung indigenous people, yung mga newcomers, persons with disabilities, at saka yung mga asylum claimants na meron ng existing work permits. So yung youth, wala pa yun dati na kailangang
Oh.
isama sa LMI o sa job advertising. So ngayon, specific, kailangan ng isama yung youth sa pagpo-post ng job bank, sa job bank and other job boards. So remember, hindi lang yan sa job bank. No, it is also required to post to at least like 2 more. But in my practice, I do actually like ask employers to post in 5 job boards. I know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There were instances also that I was coordinating with colleges. No, I contacted them before para i-post nila yung job sa job boards nila. It is also possible. And colleges are very appreciative and accommodating doon. And yeah, they can post your jobs dun sa job boards nila. So you can also use platforms popular with youth. I don't know if I never tried, like let us say posting in Facebook siguro or TikTok. If it's me, I can also add that because those are popular to youth.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
okay.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing that as another basically requirement na i-post mo sa mas maraming job sites na hindi nire-require before. Tama ba, Miss G?
Ang inad lang ngayon talaga is yung youth, targeting the youth. Because in job bank, there is, a space there wherein you can take na you are targeting youth dun sa job ads na yun.
Oh.
And then again, you don't need to kalimutan na isama mo pa rin doon yung mga targeting newcomers, indigenous, persons with disabilities, and asylum claimants with current work permit. No, yung youth, in addition yon sa current or existing instructions for applying for LMI. Parang
now I
dagdag
get it.
yun, no? Oo, mas pinahirap or mas pina-strengthen ang LMIA application.
Why do you think, Miss G, is IRCC enforcing these new rules?
I see this as, eliminating the bad actors in the process, no, strengthening or talagang parang i-defend mo talaga na wala talagang makuha na tawag dito, PR or Canadian citizens, and of course prioritizing yung mga kabataan, no, na magkaroon talaga ng trabaho. If you consider lots of, and I'm hearing all around na napakarami daw ng mga youth, no, mga kabataan na walang trabaho. And they said you go to McDonald's, you go to, like let us say Tim Hortons, and all you can see are foreign workers. So sabi nga nila, nakukuhanan ng trabaho yung mga kabataan dito sa Canada. No? So this is another pad or ways ng government to, yun nga, para ma-prioritize yung mga kabataan natin dito.
I wonder, I haven't seen any specific mention of how ESDC, yan yung nangangasiwa guys ng ng TFW program. Paano nila talaga malalaman na nag-effort si employer to target the youth? Meron na ba? May nakasaad ba dun sa nasa canada.ca, Ms. G? I didn't see it. Baka I missed it. Paano kaya nila gagawin yun?
So yun nga, from the employer side, so they need to show or prove na they did or they're doing efforts to recruit youths. And that is like through the job ads. If you actually see, Ms. Ina, how we do the recruitment effort report to ESDC, no, you really have to show na it's very clear na meron talagang preference given to the youth. No, and that is through, like let us say, mag-submit ka ng screenshots ng advertisements mo, specifically targeting yung youths. There are website also or job portals na talagang specific, Miss Ina, targeting youths.
I
No,
see.
I just don't want to specify specific portals here. No, but there are job sites na meant for mga kabataan dito sa Canada.
Yeah. No, but I guess what I'm trying to point out is, yun na yun, job posting. How will they know if the employer actually interviewed potential candidates? Diba? Parang malalaman ba yun? Or is the job posting, baka naman, screen grab na lang, pwede na yan. Wala na tayong tatawagan sa mga yan. Kahit may mag-apply, that's what I'm trying to determine. Paano kaya malalaman ng ESDC if
Okay.
talagang nanawag, nag-consider seriously ng youth, di ba?
There are lots of changes na nangyari rin, Miss Ina, sa job bank. Believe me. From, siguro nagdagdag sila ng another like 60% job on how you manage yung job ads sa job bank. There is a transparency now that ESDC can see sino ba ang nag-post ng advertisement. Is it the employer? Is it the consultant or someone else? No, dati kasi wala yun eh. No, anyone can post. There is no transparency kung sino, like let us say, ang nag-download. No, meron pa yung job match service sa job bank wherein they can see employer ba talaga ang nagda-download at nagre-retain ng applications. No, it's very matrabaho ngayon ang LMIA application. And of course, the recruitment effort is the heart of the application. So
Correct.
I always say LMI application is not a straightforward application. No? So if you don't know the process, there is a big possibility na i-return ang application sa'yo ng ESDC or ma-refuse ang application mo. So
I see.
yeah, they're tightening rules. I can really see that clearly.
Right. So with with all these changes, Ms. G, I think parang it's making it more difficult for employers to want to hire foreign workers. Kumbaga, they're making the system more tedious.
Mm-mm.
O sabi mo nga, matrabaho. Nakaka-discourage for employers. Ayoko na, parang ayoko na pagdaan ito. Tsaka ang tagal eh. Kasi diba, 2 months, they have to wait.
Yes.
A while. So for foreign workers, mga naka-work permit nating kababayan, this possibly means less LAMIAs to be issued because of that. Am I right? Tama ba yung logic ko?
Yes, yeah, tama yan. Of course, that discourage employers no, na mag-hire ng foreign workers just knowing yung timeline bago nila ma-hire yung foreign workers. So that will really affect their operations. Yeah, but it is what it is and we just need to follow the rules.
Correct. Oo. Pero may isang medyo good news naman para sa mga low-wage workers in rural towns. Meron ding bagong rule in effect, Ms. G. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so it says that from April 1, 2026, no, to March 31, 2027, kung ang employer is nasa rural areas, so ibig sabihin yung nasa labas ng census metropolitan area or yung outside the big cities, kung more than 10% ang low-wage current TFWs nila, no, pwede nilang i-retain ang percentage na yon. So normally 10% lang ang cap. So let us say a company has 100 total workforce and they can only hire 10%. Means 10 foreign workers. Pero sa rural areas, it can now go up to 15%. So from that 100, I can hire like 15 foreign workers. So that is a good news naman. In another note also, Ms. Ina, and I just want to let you know also, so we are talking about the low wage dito, it doesn't include the high wage.
Okay. For all that we talked about, are you saying?
It's a low wage. It's a low wage. It is only applicable to low wage positions of the LMI application. Siguro ay na good note naman or parang tip lang siguro, no? Because in the current rule, 1 year na lang ang validity ng work permit for a low-wage position.
Mm.
But you can still request for 2 years. No, yun yung dating rule, 2 years ang validity ng work permit when you apply for a low wage. Pero nagbago ang rule, now ngayon, 1 year na lang ang validity. But still, you can, bulong ko lang sa Miss Ina.
Oh, sige, tayo lang nakikinig dito.
Yes, tayo lang nakikinig. You can request for 2 years because ang dami kong na-approve na application na I know 1 year lang ang validity ng work permit na pwedeng i-apply, but I always request for 2 years and it is getting approved for 2 years.
Really?
Yes.
Why do you think is that so? Paano mo nire-request, Miss G? Do you put it in there? Paano ba yun?
There's also an explanation. Yeah, there is like the duration of the work permit that you're requesting. So I put 2 years, though in my mind, I know the rules is saying na 1 year lang no, ang validity, but I'm always requesting for 2 years for the low age. And I give there the defense. I mentioned the defense. Bakit 2 years? No?
Oo.
Meron din. Oo. So you can give it a shot. And again, it depends on the officer, no? Kung mapagbibigyan ka. But in my case, yeah, I do request for 2 years and it's being granted.
Aba? Okay. O, di ba guys? But of course, we're not saying again, no? Hindi po yan guaranteed.
Yes.
But it has happened. Mali mo nga naman, nothing to lose. Mag-request kayo ng dalawa, no? Okay, 2 years, I mean. All right. Now, dahil na sa usapin tayo ng paghihigpit sa Lamia, there is one province, okay, also na balita ito over the past week, na also adding an additional requirement basically for employers sa probinsya nito na nag-hire ng foreign workers. I'm talking about Alberta, kung nasaan kaming dalawa ni Miss G right now. Okay, let me put up this article. This is from CBC News last week. Teka muna. Saan ba yun? Sorry guys, wala akong laptop eh. Okay. So ang sabi dito na Alberta government wants businesses to register provincially before hiring foreign workers.
If passed, this legislation will enhance oversight of employers, international recruiters, and immigration consultants involved in the recruitment, advertisement, and employment of foreign nationals. It will create a public registry for employers who wish to hire temporary foreign workers in Alberta, require immigration consultants and recruiters to be provincially licensed, and set out enforcement tools that can be used against registered and licensed businesses and individuals who break these rules. These changes bring Alberta in line with other Canadian provinces while also tailoring our approach to Alberta's needs and priorities. People don't always like change, and I expect that. But I can tell you that I've heard proactively from businesses reaching out and employees who have said, we have a concern about some of the way that employers, recruiters, and employment consultants are recruiting into the province, the way some businesses are operating, and we don't think it's a fair playing field. And also, I would say the government doesn't have a clear line of sight on what businesses are recruiting into Alberta right now. The federal government doesn't share that information with us readily, and so this will also give us access to more data about the kinds of jobs that are going to temporary workers, so we can better tailor programs that we have and better tailor our understanding to address these employment issues in Alberta.
Okay? So kailangan magsasabi muna sila sa probinsya na isa kami sa mga gustong mag-hire ng foreign workers. I understand, Ms. G, this is already being practiced by some provinces. So ano bang ginagawa nito for the provinces that are already enforcing this rule? Anong difference niya? Mas mahigpit? Ano ba?
It is actually regulating who can practice or represent particular foreign workers or applicant dun sa province na yan. So currently existing yan sa Saskatchewan, and British Columbia. I think there are some other provinces, but in my case, kasi I am licensed, I have an extrajudicial license or extra provincial license for Saskatchewan and British Columbia. So means to say, if I don't have that license specific to Saskatchewan or British Columbia, then I cannot represent a client dun sa
I see.
province na yun. Oo. And in the LMIA application context, whenever you submit an LMI application, kailangang makita ng province na yon that you are a registered, let us say, recruiter and or immigration consultant to represent the client. And I do agree in that.
Oo.
Although, of course, it's napakagastos. No, it's an additional expense for someone like me to get an extra provincial license. I need to apply for a bond also. No, doon para lang makuha ko yung license na yun. And it is approved or applied on a yearly basis. No,
Yeah.
continuously. Yeah. So for Alberta, it is happening. And kahit medyo magastos, for someone like me, no, or in my profession, I agree with that because it
Yeah.
is eradicating the bad players in the industry. No, and I hope na mag-workout talaga yung plan na yan. I
Oo.
don't know if many will agree with me, but okay
No,
with that.
anything that combats fraud and
Mm-mm.
just makes the whole system more honest, why
Mm-mm.
not? I'm all for it too, no? But what does it mean for employers, Missy? Kunyari, ni-register sila sa
Mm-mm.
probinsya. Ibig sabihin ba nito, can the provincial government task people to look, to dig deeper on how you do your recruitment? May ganun bang aspeto yun, Miss G? Like, titignan nila, oh, sino ba mga hinahire mo? Naku mali yung ginagawa mo, hindi ka naman dapat. I think the positions you are looking for, maraming mga bata na pwedeng gumawa niya. May ganun bang aspeto yun?
Mm-mm. There is definitely, it's a possibility. No, for in my experience applying for an extra provincial license, and even it goes to the employer also. So there are even like reference checks done. No, I remember, I don't know if this will apply in BC, but most probably it will be applicable for Alberta also. Nanghingi sila ng at least 3 references. Now those are professional references proving that you are an ethical person to get the license. Now, and of course, all licenses, and they will check the history of the company on how they hire foreign workers and even like a national recruitment. It
Or
is
maybe,
in my judgment.
maybe could it rather also give the provincial government a say on what type of workers are being given or allowed for low-wage temporary foreign workers? May ganun ba yun? Na parang, nako, kapag wag mo na, hindi na bibigyan tong employer na to kasi puro ganito yung posisyon na kinukuha.
In the current practice, it is ESDC, no, who is like administering what companies can hire, no, and let's see in the coming days kung ano yung kasama dun sa Alberta. Let us see. But in the current rule, it is the ESDC who is facilitating the recruitment.
Oo. Parang may double din, Ms. Gino. In a way, it's sort of already being done on a federal level, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Oo.
It is. Mm-mm.
Yung ganito. Parang doble ngayon yung mangyayari for this requirement. Tama ba?
Yeah, it is actually matrabaho. Like I'm telling you, like if I submit an LMI application for Saskatchewan, no, there is like more trabaho than advertising or applying for an LMIA for a province na wala namang ganong extra pad or extra provincial license na requirements.
Yeah. Okay. Well, again, guys, tinutulak pa lang po yan sa probinsya, ano ba ito, ng Alberta. It's not yet in effect, but the government is pushing to have a law na magmamandate niyan for employers. Alright? Thank you so much, Miss G. Nako guys, again, pasensya na kayo sa aking boses at sa aking kulay. Oo, di bale, babalik na ako sa aking bahay tonight. So, magiging normal na ang aking environment. Okay, thanks so much, guys. If you have more questions, you can shoot Ms. G an email dyan po sa email address na gumagapang sa baba. We will end this episode here. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!